everybody, it's the Warhipster here, coming at you with another Contrast Plus painting tutorial, and today we are painting the all-new Hobgrot Vandalz. Whoop! That one's trying to make an escape. You will be painted. Yes, we have the new Hobgrot Vandalz that was sent to me early by Games Workshop to build up and paint as part of this wave of the Helsmiths of Hashut release. And, well, we're going to jump in and we're going to start painting them. So, massive thank you to them. And these have all been primed in Grace here. And we're going to be basically doing a bit of like a couple of different schemes here for the robes and things. But the skin and stuff is all going to be the same as it kind of usually is. So we'll get to that when we get to that in just a moment. There's not too much admin. But the first colour that we're going to be using is a roughly 2 parts Nazdreg Yellow to 1 part Snakebite Leather to 1 part Lahmian Medium mix. And we're going to be applying this over top of all of our Hobgrot's skin. I'm just going to start down here and get this all over the top. As mentioned, we're going to do the across all, well, 20 if you've got the whole box built, but in this case we've got 5. And we'll get to the banner at the end. There shouldn't be much that's too surprising here. So with that all done, we're now going to take a roughly 2 parts Cygor Brown to 1 part Lahmian Medium mix. We're going to apply this over the top of all of their little kind of, well, for the lack of a better word, this guy has like a poncho, but the rest of them have like a collar. That's what we're going to apply this over the top of. And so with that all done, we're then going to take some Ratling Grime. And this is where we're going to start off painting in our kind of robes and things. Just pick a place to start. So for one of our guys, or however many of your guys that you want, we're going to take the Ratling Grime and we're going to apply it over top of, well, all of the robe. So with that all done, for our next individual's robe, we're going to use some Agrax Earthshade. With that all done, for our next one, we then take some Gryph-Hound Orange. I'm going to use this to paint in his robe. And for our next individual, we're then going to use some Magmadroth Flame. And with that all done, for our 5th and final one, we're going to take some Gore-Grunta Fur. I'm going to apply this over top of his robe. So with that all done, we're then going to take some Black Legion. And we're going to apply this over top of all the remaining leather straps and gloves and belts and things. But that's what we're also going to do with the Black Legion, is we're going to apply this over the top of any teeth, toenails and fingernails. With that all done, we're then going to take a tiny little bit of Terradon Turquoise and we're going to apply this over the top of their eyes and the bottom eyelid. With that all done, we're then going to take some Skeleton Horde and we're going to apply this over the top of their hats. So with that all done, I know I said we'd leave the banner until the end, but we're just going to do it now because we've just done the Skeleton Horde over the top of the drum skin as well. So it just makes sense. But now that's all been cleared up, what we're going to do is we're going to take some Sigvald Burgundy and we're going to apply this over the top of the banner. So with that all done, for now, I'm going to take some thins down, Iron Warriors. We're going to apply this over top of all of the weapon blades and armour, as well as any little kind of rings and buckles and things. So with that all done, we are now going to take some thinned down Runelord Brass and we're going to apply this over top of almost all of our remaining details. There's only one that we're not going to be applying this over, which is the trim on the banner. So with that all done, we're then going to take some Liberator Gold and we're going to apply this over the top of the trim on the banner. So with that all done, it's now time to add some shades to these models. And what we're going to do is we're going to start off with something that isn't a shade. We're going to start off with some Black Templar. And we're going to apply this over top of all of the armour, this peg leg, the drum, which we've done with the Iron Warriors. And we're going to apply this over the top of any shields. But what we're not going to do is apply this over the top of like weapons and things. So with that all done, we're then going to take some Berserker Bloodshade. And we're going to use this to shade the Liberator Gold on the banner. We're going to use this to shade some of the robes as well. And we're going to use this to shade the Cygor Brown around their necks. So the robes that we're going to shade are going to be the Gryph-Hound Orange, the Magmadroth Flame. Actually, no. Ignore me on that front. We're just going to be shading the Magmadroth Flame one with the Berserker Bloodshade. We'll be shading those other ones with a different shade in just a moment. With that Berserker Bloodshade all applied, we're then going to take some Agrax Earthshade. We're going to use this to shade all of our remaining metallics, so all the Runelord Brass and all the weapons and such. And so with that all done, we're then going to take some Reikland Fleshshade. We're going to use this over the top of the Gryph-Hound Orange robe, the Gore-Grunta Fur robe, and if you want to, this is entirely optional, but if you want to take the edge off a little bit more on the Magmadroth Flame one, you can apply it over the top of that as well. Just depends on how orange you want that robe to look. And so with those shades applied, we're then going to take a teensy tiny little dot of Evil Sunz Scarlet. I'm going to use this over the top of all of their eyeballs. So with that all done, our Hobgrots are now what I would call a Warhipster battle ready. And they're looking okay. However, we are going to take them to the next level. I'm going to do this by adding just a couple of highlights. We don't actually have that many to do here because, well, I mean, they are just Hobgrots. But what we're going to do is we're going to start with the any kind of very specific highlight, which is the highlight for the banner. And the colour we're going to be using for that is some thinned down Emperor's Children. So with that all done, we're now going to take some thinned down Ironbreaker. And we're going to use this to highlight all of our silver, blackened armour, and we're also just going to use this to add a little bit of a highlight to the brass trim bit just here. But otherwise we don't actually need to highlight any of the brass because most of it is just like flagpoles and stuff. So with that all done, what we're now going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Flayed One Flesh. I'm going to use this to highlight all the skin. So with that all done, we then take some thinned down Administratum Grey, and we're going to use this to highlight all the black details. And so with that all done, to finish off our Hobgrot Vandalz, told you there wasn't a lot. What we're going to do is over the top of our Gryph-Hound Orange, our Gore-Grunta Fur, and our Magmadroth Flame one, is we're going to take some thinned down Ungor Flesh. I'm going to use this to highlight their robes. But otherwise, we're done. And with their bases all complete, our Hobgrot Vandalz are now finished. And they are a fun little kind of palette cleanser in amongst all of the Helsmiths of Hashut. There's slightly different colour schemes going on here, with some nods to them, of course. Well, for the rest of the slightly bigger dwarves. But they're really fun. I think they're a really nice, versatile little unit, and they are a really, really quick paint job. So that's always a plus in my book. If you enjoyed this video, you love the channel, and you'd like to support me further, you absolutely can do so by heading to patreon.com/warhipster, just like all of these wonderful, amazing people have done. And alternatively, you could become a YouTube channel member,
by clicking on the join button below, exactly like these fabulous folks have done scrolling up on the screen before you. There are so many of you out there that it really takes my breath away, and I cannot thank you enough for everything you do, as without you I wouldn't be able to keep making these Contrast Plus videos. And if you really like this video and you want to send me a little thanks, just click on the thanks button just below this video. Don't forget to share it, like it, comment on it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and to make sure you stay up to date, don't forget to click the bell icon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon in the next one. Happy wargaming.